Hey YouTube, welcome to the channel. My name's Aaron Helvey, and I just wanted to, as my initial video on YouTube, I wanted to take a chance to introduce myself, talk a little bit about what I plan to do with the channel and where I want to take it, and take you guys along for the ride with me. Like I said, my name is Aaron Helvey. I live here in Guthrie, Oklahoma, which is central Oklahoma, just north of Oklahoma City, about 20 miles. I've been an oil field mechanic for the past 16 years, and as you can tell by the crutches, I'm kind of gimped up right now. About 7 months ago, I was in a life-changing automobile accident down in Odessa, Texas when I was working, and I've had 3 surgeries since then. I tore up my hip and my ankle and my hand pretty good, but I'm on the mend now, and I'm able to get back in the shop and do a little bit more work. And I'm wanting to take this opportunity that God's given me to do something I've wanted to do for a long time, but honestly was a little bit scared to do. As a lot of you guys know that have families, you have responsibilities, and it's hard to give up something that you're really good at, something you've done for a long time, and something that pays your bills well. And that's where I was with the oil field. I love the oil field. I'll always love the oil field, but after 15, 16 years of doing that, I just want to do something different, and I believe God's given me this opportunity to, at this point in my life, to do that. And I want to take you guys along for the ride. I love doing lots of different kinds of stuff. I do woodworking. I mess with motorcycles. I do blacksmithing, welding, machining, just all kinds of stuff. Restoring old tools. You can see I'm cleaning up a little box plane and stuff here as soon as we get done with this video. But there's no time like the present to get started. I don't really know if this is the best way to start a YouTube channel or not, but this is what we're going to do, because this is what I know. I don't really know how to go about all this, but hopefully we'll figure it all out together. You guys can follow along for the ride. Hopefully you'll find something that you enjoy. Like I said, we'll be kind of all over the place, so hopefully there'll be a little bit of something in there for lots of different people. You know, the main thing that I would like to get out of this channel is something different now than what I thought in the past. I've wanted to do a YouTube channel for quite a while now, and been told by quite a few people that I probably should do a YouTube channel. And I really kind of thought of it and looked at it as just from the monetary side of things, being able to generate more revenue or generate more customers to buy some of the custom furniture I build, or to buy some of the blacksmithing projects, or motorcycle parts, or anything like that. You know, and I just kind of always thought of YouTube as a monetary thing, and I didn't watch a lot of YouTube. I wasn't super familiar with a lot of different YouTube channels or anything. And then the past 7 months, while I've been healing up from this wreck, I have watched quite a bit of YouTube, and lots of different providers, lots of different channels, lots of different content, kind of all over the spectrum, from vehicles to tools to machining to welding to woodwork to DIY stuff, just all kinds of stuff. And the thing that's changed in me is that I've seen through some of these providers, like Puddin's Fab Shop over, I believe he's in Shawnee, Oklahoma. Super, I've never met the guy, but it seems like a really down-to-earth, good guy. And you can see it, true feeling in him when he does his mail time videos and opens the mail and sees the stuff that his viewers send to him, and reads the letters that they send to him. And it's really changed my vision on what I hope to accomplish with this channel. And that is to reach people, whether they be young or old. I would love to be able to reach young people and expose them to different trades, you know, whether it be welding or machining or woodwork or mechanicking or whatever it may be, but something that would spark their interest and maybe lead them in a direction that they didn't really think about before. The skilled labor trades in this country are in dire need of new blood. They provide a great living. They're very fulfilling, and we need them in our communities. This nation needs them desperately. So if I can inspire people to get out and get their hands dirty and do something, that'd be my number one thing. I'm going to do this regardless of whether I make money on the channel or not. It should be a pretty good ride. I hope you guys will enjoy it. You know, I've got a 3-year-old little boy at home, Waylon, and a great wife, Leslie, who's pushing me to do this. And I just want to do right by them. I want to be able to provide a good life for them. And it's kind of hard stepping out of your comfort zone and doing something different. So hope you guys will be patient with me as I figure this YouTube thing out. I hope I can inspire somebody. And I hope we have fun, you know. I'm going to have fun because this is the kind of stuff that I love to do. Some of the stuff we'll be doing because we have to do it, because we need to do it to make some money. And then, you know, when things slow down a little bit, we'll get some other videos of just projects that I want to do, you know, restoring old tools or working on my motorcycles or whatever it may be, but something, you know, I want to do that's not bringing in money. But so we'll have a little mix of everything, and I hope you guys follow along, subscribe to the channel, watch the channel, give me feedback, what I can do better, what you guys want to see, all that kind of stuff. Because at the end of the day, like I said, this is about inspiring you guys and being there to answer questions as best I can, and getting to know some of you guys and all that kind of stuff. So I just figured we wouldn't do a project on this first one. I just introduce myself, let you guys know a little bit about me, maybe do a quick walk around the shop. I say walk, we'll do some hobbling on the crutches. Try not to make you guys too dizzy or seasick while we do that. Just a quick little background on me outside of working in the oil field. I was born and raised in Oklahoma. I lived in Northwest Oklahoma. When I was little, we moved to Edmond, Oklahoma, which is just a suburb of Oklahoma City. When I was in about the 4th grade, I spent the rest of my childhood in Edmond, Oklahoma, and then I went to the University of Oklahoma to play football in 2000. I met some really good people down there, and had a really good time. I left straight from OU and went to the oil fields, and been in the oil fields pretty much ever since. This shop was just my hobby shop, a place that I had to collect stuff and bring stuff here so the wife wouldn't see that I bought more stuff, although she always finds out eventually. And just a place to keep my tools and work on stuff that I wanted to work on, or do little projects for friends and family. And so it's pretty cluttered up, and it's pretty dirty right now. Maybe we'll make a video of cleaning and organizing the shop, or I might actually take 2 or 3 videos to do that, unless you guys want to sit around for hours and hours watching that kind of video. But we'll get this thing organized and into more of a daily use shop than just a hobby shop. And we'll take you guys along with us. I say we, it's just me, so I'll take you guys along with us. I'm going to come over there and grab the phone. We'll do a quick hobble around the shop, see a few of the things, and we'll talk to you after that. So where we're at now is kind of the welding area of the shop. This is a side yard out of the shop, and this is the front of the shop. That wall there, that corner of the shop is walled off. There's it's kind of my man cave in there. I got a pool table and a bathroom, and that's where my desk and stuff is in that part in there. Toolboxes and cabinets with parts. I think there's a old Harley shovel head motor in that cabinet, and parts bins and some random tools and stuff over there on the pegboard. all that kind of stuff. Got to have the John Deere mower to keep got an 1.5 acres out here beside and behind the shop that we got to keep mowed, and some stuff out front by the road. I've got a Lincoln 225 TIG welder, a little 135 MIG welder. For the most part, they get most of the projects that I need done. Being in the oil field, I never really worried about it. If I needed something big welded, there's always welders around. I guess now I'll have to either get a bigger welder or call some of my buddies and have them come over and do some welding for me when they need it. This is an old welding table I got from a good friend of mine, Rick Wilkins, years ago, and I know that he built lots of projects, did lots of projects on it. I've done lots of projects. Great little table, and I think of Rick every time I sit down to work at it. Just a good guy. Little parts, not parts bin, but shelves over there. We've got some blacksmithing hammers, a bunch of hammer heads down there on the bottom that need handles, my grinders, flap discs, wire wheels, sanding discs, all that kind of stuff over there. You know, some beeswax, you know, just stuff like that. Got some hammers, blacksmithing stuff, levels, rulers, straight edges, torch equipment hanging on the wall over there. We've got a T-slot table here, sitting on top of a pretty heavy duty bench. It's a good fixture table to be able to mount stuff down when you need to weld it or set up a fixture or whatever. Also use it for woodworking. It's, you know, a good heavy big table. It's not going to move around a lot. This might be the first project video that we do. Probably will be, because I'm going to plan on starting on it tomorrow. This is a piece of 3-inch thick locally sourced elm. My brother and I cut this down probably 4 or 5 years ago, and we've made a couple coffee tables out of it, some end tables, some other stuff. Just made a display case for a fully engraved 1911 that my good friend down at Distinct Customs did, and he needed a display case for that customer, for that gun. So we just did that last week, and that's one reason that all the tools and stuff are out. I just hadn't got that cleaned up, finished it up on Friday. Over here in the corner, kind of stuffed over here in the wall, you can't really probably make heads or tails of it, but there's 3 or 4 coal forges, blacksmith coal forges, and blowers, and leg vices, and all kinds of stuff over there. All of that is stuff that needs to be refurbished and gone through, so that'll probably be some future videos. I've got a 3-burner propane forge that I built. This is a pretty neat torch cart, bottle cart, whatever you want to call it. I've got this from an old farmer up around, I believe he was around Perryton, or not Perryton, but Perry, Oklahoma. And it was just originally set up for 2 bottles. I redid the floor in it to accept 4 bottles. So it's got 2 oxygen bottles, a little propane bottle, and an acetylene bottle. The propane, because we do a lot of heating for fine work on blacksmith work and stuff, to me it's just easier to use a torch. The acetylene is a little better for cutting than the propane, so carry both of them. It's really cool because it's on these old Chevy hubs. I believe they're like around the late 40s, and that the hubcap didn't come with it, but I actually had the hubcap. My mom had got that for me years and years ago. When I was in high school, I was always into old cars and motorcycles and stuff, and that's just one she picked up somewhere and brought home, and has always just hung on the wall, but it's found a permanent home now on this cart. I need to find another one for the other side. We've got just a miscellaneous metal rack, got a bunch of scraps in here that always come in handy doing projects. I've got some bigger metal up here, square bar and round bar and tubing and all that kind of stuff for projects. this is the main anvil that I use or have in the past. It's a 125-pound Acme made by Trenton. I got this from a good buddy of mine that I ride with, Jason Tarrant, and this was his wife's grandpa's anvil, and he was a farmer in northwest Oklahoma, just outside of Fairview, which is where I lived when I was a kid. So it's kind of cool that it has those ties to it too. Underneath down here, there's a 225-pound Peter Wright anvil that I bought not long before the wreck, and haven't had a chance to get it mounted or set up yet, but it's a great anvil. So we might replace the 125-pounder with this 225. I'm not sure yet, but it's a great anvil nonetheless. Then over here, underneath the table, there is a 330-pound bridge anvil, mainly used in the oil fields back in the day for straightening out tools on old hammer rigs. This one has the original cone with it, and it's not all beat up and saddled out in the middle, which is kind of rare for these. They got really used and abused, and they're not hard steel. They're just a cast steel anvil. So it's really nice to find that one in that good a shape. I'm really happy to have it. We've got a project here in a surface grinder that I got out of Dallas, Texas from Andrew at Blacksmith Tools. If you guys are on Instagram, go give him a follow. If you're into old tools and blacksmith stuff, just a top-notch guy. He's always been great to deal with. It's great to just chat with, just a down-to-earth, good guy. And so if you're into that kind of stuff, follow him. He's always got cool videos. He's a funny guy. Always got stuff for sale. So go give him a follow and buy you something. This old Pexto stomp shear that I got, I don't even remember where I got it, but, and then down here on the floor all covered up is a 1,000-pound bridge anvil. These were mainly used by the railroad. It's a Union Tool Company anvil. I found it in the back of a scrap yard in Abilene, Texas. Just kind of random. I stopped in there, had seen some stuff by the fence that I thought would be cool, and they let me walk around the yard and found that thing sitting back there in the corner. The Dake Arbor press. There's a Kalamazoo chop saw that I got out of a warehouse in Oklahoma City. It needs some work. Just a 30-ton little shop press here. Nothing fancy. That's a pretty cool post drill. It's an old blacksmith post drill that somewhere along the line somebody has converted to electric. It actually works. I got this from a really nice guy who's a member of the Salt Fork Craftsman and Blacksmith Association here in Oklahoma. I had gone just to buy a 50-pound Little Giant hammer that he had, and he kind of made me take some other stuff with me because he was getting ready to move to North Carolina. So it's a pretty cool piece. This is just a drill press, another drill press here. This is a 3-phase, and I don't have a phase converter in this shop yet, as it was, like I said, it's just a hobby shop, or has been. But I would like to get a phase converter to get this hooked up, and I've got a few more pieces of equipment that are 3-phase that we need to get the phase converter so we can hook them up. Got a bench grinder, another little belt grinder, vertical bandsaw. This is kind of my pride and joy as far as machines go. It's a Monarch lathe built in 1948. And a very good friend / mentor helped me out with this. John Bossa, he runs a big machine shop in Oklahoma City, and just salt of the earth guy. He's always been a good friend to me, always been a good mentor, super knowledgeable guy. He and I brought this in here, and we got just absolutely drenched. It was really beautiful that morning. We went and ate breakfast and got this thing loaded up, and About halfway up here from Oklahoma City, we just got downpoured on, and so it rained on us the entire time we were unloading this thing from the trailer and bringing it in the shop, and it was an absolute mess. But we had a ball, and I'm sure he would probably say the same thing, even though we both left soaking wet, dripping from head to toe. But it was just a good Saturday morning spent with friends, and we have it here now. And like I said, we need to get a phase converter in here so that we can get this thing up and running and do some bigger stuff on it. It'd be fun to use. Little compressor over there in the corner. We got a little 8x48, I think 8x48, 8x40 maybe, Bridgeport mill over here. Got a little 10-inch, I believe, lathe over here, which was my first lathe. It's great for making the smaller motorcycle parts and stuff that I really originally bought it for to use. Been a great lathe. Little horizontal / vertical bandsaw has been really useful over the years. I could use a little bit bigger one, but it gets the job done. This is a power hacksaw that I bought a while back, and it's a 3-phase as well. That's one reason it's not hooked up and running. We get that phase converter, we'll get it hooked up and go through it on a video and get it back up and running and going. Back behind here, got another blacksmith cold forge that I brought in one day and just hadn't found a real place to store it other than right there. And a couple older belt-driven blacksmith, I say blacksmith, they were used for everything, but power hacksaws. Neither one of those is complete, and there's a third one up by the front of the shop. I think there's enough there to build one full one out of the 3 and have a few spare parts left over. Over here we've kind of got the wood pile. We've got a bunch of cedar cut up there in the back. This is some slabbed up pecan right here, and then we've got some big elm slabs here that are drying. They should be just about ready to use. I picked them up. They might need another 6 months or so. We'd have to put a moisture meter on there to check them, but they're getting pretty close to being able to use on some furniture. Some cookies off that same tree, off the base. Not sure what this stuff is called, but it's just really cool looking. I got it off the side of the road when I was working in the oil field in New Mexico. It's real porous. I believe it's some type of cactus. I don't know the name of it, but I've seen guys cut it into pieces and fill it with epoxy and make knife scales and gun grips and all kinds of stuff with it. It's just really cool look. But either way, it's just cool without that too. So I had to pick it up. I'm really bad about that. I pick stuff up off the side of the road all the time, whether it be something that somebody lost or just something I think is cool or whatever. This is a 1979 iron head that I built probably 8 years ago. It's been through a few different homes, and now it's back with me. We've got a 63 pan head up here on the lift. Had it for quite a while now too. It's in the middle of being rewired. It's been that way for quite a while, I'm not gonna lie to you. Probably 2 years or better it's been sitting just like that, and I need to get it finished up and find the time to get it back on the road. And over here we've got a started life as a 79 shovel head. It's all completely custom. It was the first bike I ever built. The motor's punched out to about 94 inches. It's got a 6-speed Baker transmission on it, kickstart only. This bike has been a huge pain in my ass, but it was my daily bike. It is my daily bike, even though I haven't ridden it in probably a couple years since my son was born. Hopefully that'll all change by next summer. I'll be healthy and be able to get out there and ride some more. But learned a lot of lessons on this bike, stuff I would never do on a bike again, but did it on this one because I didn't know any better, and it's worked out. But this bike and I have been through a lot. We've been to California and back, and lots of memories, lots of fun with friends. We've got a couple little Honda 50s here that got from a good friend of mine, Richard Green. His boys grew up with these, riding them hard all the way up until their teenage years. And when I had my son, he wanted to pass them on, hoping that we'd get one of them and get it put back together and make a good bike for Waylon to ride when he gets just a little bit older. Maybe another year. I think he'll probably be about ready to start riding. So we'll probably do a video of that in the future, getting those up and going. I don't know if y'all see if I can zoom in here. There's another little power hacksaw there just past the rear tire of that pan head, and a cool old nail bin that we got over there. So just a little bit of everything. And if you guys are wondering, you see all the white stuff on the floor, it's because this shop was built in the 70s, and it has this spray insulation all over the walls and the ceiling. Well, for the past few years, I guess the glue has finally given up on the ceiling. So this stuff comes down in globs every day. So we can sweep the floor in here, and within a week, it looks like we haven't swept in a year. So it's just one of the things that we have to deal with. I keep saying we, like there's more than me just here. So it's just me, but one of the things I have to deal with. Hopefully eventually all the stuff will fall off the ceiling. We won't have to worry about it anymore. Unless one of you guys has a tip or trick that I could do without having to empty all this equipment out of the shop. I know I could empty it or tarp it all up and pressure wash all that stuff off or whatever, but that's just not a very feasible option at this point. Anyhow, I wanted to say thank you again for watching. I hope this video wasn't too long. I'm really glad that I finally pulled the trigger and took this opportunity to introduce myself and to kickstart this channel. I'm going to try, as we start out, to do one video every other week, and then hopefully as I get more proficient, I'll be able to get one out every week. Maybe I can do enough projects to be able to keep up with that every week. But I'm gonna try to do every other week to start out with, and I hope you guys subscribe to the channel, follow along, like the videos if you like them. If you don't like them, leave me a comment. Let me know what you don't like, what you think I can do better. At the end of the day, this channel is all about you guys. It's not about me, outside of just me trying to reach you guys and inspire and create some dialogue. Love you guys. God bless. Have a good day. Get out there and get your hands dirty.